what type of like people you're moving with.
Yeah.
It depends what social movement you're in, because some of us off a council estate will only have council estate jobs to do, you know, and you do build yourself up and like promote yourself, but people starting out, they're not going to go straight to a high-end client, are they?
I knocked on estate agent doors.
Yeah,
So I went to every estate agent in Dartford and said, like, do plumbing, gas, stuff like that. I think only one estate agent used me, but other than that, it's everyone I knew, and then the word gets around. So you obviously, it's easier if you know people to start off
if you want to we're sorry that they're not McVitie's and they're Galaxy. I mean, there's not a lot of difference in them, Kieran.
Well, yeah, there's a big difference. It's different chocolate, Derek.
Don't really taste that much different though, does it?
Of course it does. Galaxy and McVitie's different. Hello, welcome to
Off the Job
Overtime, where there's banter and your stories shared. Please be warned, there may be some general explicit content. I can't wait for Easter. Do you know the mini? They've got it out now. The mini egg dairy milk. Oh, the best.
How do you eat yours? Cadbury's Creme eggs.
I was going to say something.
How do you eat them? That's what is an advert, wasn't it? How do you eat yours?
What, how do you eat?
I like to slurp it, bite.
What, how do you eat the cream out of it?
How do you eat them? Yeah.
You just got to lick it out, haven't you? Do you either lick it or bite it?
I like to fry mine. No.
Fry your cream egg.
No, yeah.
I'm glad we're laughing because we need some comedy.
I mean, let me tell you something, yeah? I eat a lot of Cadbury's Creme eggs.
Yeah. Is that okay?
You know what I mean? I eat a lot of Cadbury's Creme eggs. And that would explain why I am so talented.
At what, eating cream eggs?
If I have to explain it.
I'm glad we got some laughs because this show's been...
Well,
You've let it down this week.
I do get asked.
2 weeks running, we've let this show down.
I do get asked the question, why are you so good at that?
Who asked you that?
And it's because of my Cadbury's Creme eggs. Is why.
Should have a Cadbury cream egg off.
And then what we can do, right? We
can get 2 cream eggs.
We can get the said person to ask us these questions and compare notes.
So we got. Right, can you say that again, please?
What?
Can you say that again?
We can get the said person to ask us these questions, why we are so good at what we do.
Yeah, but they would
compare notes.
No, we'd need to share in that case.
What? No, we're not sharing. You're not having my cream eggs, mate. You're not having my cream eggs. Thanks for joining us at Off the Job.
Thank you.
Overtime. He's a little bit more lively this week than he was last week. Because let me just say,
I'm going to be annoying this week.
He was absolutely shit last week. I watched the episode back and I thought, we should never have fucking recorded it last week.
Was it that bad?
It was terrible, yeah.
All right. I'll do better. I'll be better.
Good.
I'll perform better.
Yeah, great. What's happening? What have we been doing?
Well, I took Friday off.
Yeah.
Told everyone what I was doing, so I didn't think I was like skiving. Do you know what I mean?
You
got to be honest.
What was you doing?
I went busking.
Oh yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
It was good fun day.
Good fun. Did you make any money?
Yeah, I don't know how much though. All went in Barry's bag.
Oh right, you just go along for the.
Go along for the
jam,
the practice. Yeah.
Go along for the practice and the jam.
But no, it's good.
You look pretty good from what I was seeing. I still need to. You still need to. I still
show
need
you how
to.
it's done. I'm not show you a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I need.
But
to.
on the underground, it's good. We started off at Leicester Square. But some places, so we started off Leicester Square, set up the amp and the microphones, and then. So a lot of people don't realise you have to have a licence to busk on the underground. And I think it's changed since COVID, but the last one they done was before COVID, but it was every 3 years they do 600 auditions, but only 100 get the licence.
Oh, really?
So yeah, my friend done that, got the licence, and he's allowed to take a guess. So it's quite good to know not everyone can do it.
I wasn't sure if you was actually just busking with... Grant what's his name? Grant Gundlefinger.
He's recently grew his moustache. Yeah. He said it's his music year. But so we started at Leicester Square, couple of hours. You have to book a time slot wherever you go.
Yeah. What time was you there from then?
Just after 8.
In the evening?
No, morning.
Oh, was you?
Yeah. The people at the top, 'cause you have to check in at the top by the barriers. I was like, what are you doing here so early?
And you was there till what time?
I think we was there till 10, 11, something like that.
Didn't fancy it overnight then?
Nah. Then we went...
Too many piss heads.
Did we have fish and chips? No. We went to Embankment because at Charing Cross you're not allowed an amp there because it's too enclosed.
Right.
So that's why we thought we haven't got to set all the equipment again. We go there, just get
Has
the
he got
guitar
a
out
card
and play.
machine reader as well?
Yeah. QR code. Yeah.
I see that once. I was on the underground once, and I see. It said tap, for.
He's got tap. It says buy me a beer.
Oh, tap buy me a beer. Yeah,
it was good fun. Fish and chips. Then went home. I see Zimming on the way home at the station.
Oh, did you?
What, are you stalking me?
Was he busking?
No. Lucky it weren't our fault when you turn up at the station, when it would have caught him out. Zimming is our developer.
Yeah.
Yeah. If no one knows. I'm acting as if everyone knows.
Yeah, I know. We're just having a chat with each other, aren't we?
Yeah, what did you do the weekend?
What did I do? Oh, I went out. Oh, that was it. So Saturday I took them out for a meal. So there's this Chinese Indian buffet place in Chelmsford.
No hairs in there?
And we're driving along. Nah.
25% off your food?
It's not it's not like the best food, but it's adequate. So like I took me and my 3 daughters out and it cost 68 quid. And then you get like refills, but it's a
buffet.
Buffet, all you can eat. So, but you have to book. So I phoned up on our way there, and they said, "Sorry, we've got no tables until 8:30." I was like, "Oh," and my girls really like it there, and I was like, "Oh, damn, what are you gonna do?" My daughter went, "Ring back with a different voice." I went, "All right," I put a posh voice on. So I rung back, and I was like in the background, I was just going. Yes, Elizabeth, dear, Elizabeth, yeah, pull the Bentley round. Like that. Right. And the woman's going, hello. I went, yeah, oh, hello, yeah.
You put the phone down and called back up?
No, I didn't. When she answered, I pretended I was in mid-sentence talking to my wife.
Yeah.
Elizabeth, blah, blah, blah. And then I said, yeah, I'd like to book a table. But that didn't sell it either. It was like
I was going to say
it was like 8. They said we got a table for 8 o'clock, so it come half hour down. So let's just go and blag it.
So you were saying if you put on a posh voice, you might get an earlier time.
You might get booking. Yeah. So anyway, I went. I said right, put on some sad faces, and there was 2 people in front of us with 2 kids, and they got turned away. And I went, oh, have you not got any tables now? And he went, no, I'm sorry, I'm very sorry, we haven't no tables. And I went. Oh, I said, this is our favourite place. I said, they're really disappointed. All 3 of my kids were like this. And he went, okay, he goes, I'll put you on 2 tables, separate tables. So we got in there. So my eldest 2 was on the table next to us and my other daughter was, and so we got in. And that was...
What time was that? Early?
Yeah, 5:30.
I got a question though.
Yeah?
Did you get 25% off? Did you get noticed by the waiter?
Oh, no, don't. That's cringe. How long is he going to go on about that for? Jesus.
Sorry, mate.
God. And then Saturday, after I dropped the kids off, I met up with my mate, who I haven't seen for a couple of years. Went down the pub, had a few beers, sorted the world out. I forgot to mention I did a gig on Friday night.
How did that go? Was that down Herne Bay, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it went really well Friday night. It was good. I think I done about 15, 20 minutes.
How many people done the gig?
5 or 6 of us. So about 15, 20 minutes. I couldn't stay because I had to get home after. That's not really... I tried to be... and try and see the gigs through because that's just etiquette. But I just generally couldn't stay. Like,
so was you one of the first ones then?
I opened the second half, then I had to go. But it went really well. I tried some new material.
What's that at a pub?
Yeah. Do you want to hear it? One of them?
Yeah, go on, guess a joke.
So, me new missus is like...
Can you pretend you're on the stage? Because you ain't going to be on the stage like this, are you? Look. I've just realised it's Monday.
Anyway, so I got myself a new missus. And She's a little bit younger than me. She's in her late 20s. I'm obviously in my early 40s. And we was having a conversation one night because you know how people say they perceive it when you're in a relationship with somebody who's younger than you. You haven't got no common ground or interest. Well, she asked me the other week and she said, how old was you when you lost your virginity? And I said, 17, I think. She went, wow. So just as you was getting into fanny, I was coming out of one.
How well did that do well?
Yeah. They laughed at that one. Yeah,
that is a good one.
I did one as well. My little girl come up with as well. She was just in the van the other day, and I put it on my stories. I think she said I was talking to her, and she was going rock climbing, and I said. Out of the blue, she just goes, yeah, I'm going rock climbing today. She goes, I've got to sign a waiver. I went, all right, okay. Why is that? She went, well, in case I die, yeah, she goes, then the rock climbing place cannot be held accountable for it. I was like, blimey, that's like knowing for a 10-year-old, isn't it? I went, well, I said, don't go dying then. I went, otherwise I'll ground you. And she went, I don't want to be grounded. I want to be ashed. That's it, cremated. I was like, what?
How did she think of that?
She's like that. She's like quick as like bang. And then another one was she said she was talking about metaphors and things like give me an English lesson, and she turns around and she goes, I can't remember what the example was, whether it was because my English is terrible. She gave an example. She said, so if like. This is such and such. If you was to say that girl is a star, they can't actually be a star, can they? But what do you call that? Come on, Ab, you're good at English, aren't you? Put you on the spot
cool
now.
What? I'm good at English.
She goes, so I can't. You might be, yeah, something or other. Figure of speech, yeah. So he can't really. So he's like that girl is a star, right? And then she goes, "That woman is a witch," right? And I turned around to her and I said, "Well, I know that some women are witches," and she went, "That's an opinion." This is 10 years old.
Sounds like her dad.
Just battered me. So yeah, she have quite a laugh with my daughters. They're quite funny, quite funny than me. Funny. One of them. And this was one of the first. My daughter gave me this joke when I was younger. When she was younger, we was in the van, and she's singing along to a load of music, right? But then all of a sudden, she's gone quiet, right? And I've gone, "What's the matter with you? Why have you gone quiet?" She goes, "I don't know the words." She's only 7 at the time, if that. And I went, well, don't worry about it. I went, I don't know the words. I said, I don't know. I went, I'm thick. And she goes, Daddy, not thick. And I went, oh, I love you. You're beautiful. She went, it's thick. Thick. I was like, what? What? Do you know what I mean?
I thought she was being nice and she actually called you.
I'm just like, yeah. I thought you're lovely. You are. You're beautiful. I've just like loads of jokes like from my kids. They give me material. Like,
can I give you a joke to say?
Right, yeah, go on.
No, not now, but if I think of something.
I was waiting for some content for the actual podcast. Have you not got one to hand?
No, not to hand.
Right, okay.
I'm not that quick.
Well, I might have one in April. Bit hush-hush on that one at the moment because that's actually a paid gig, possibly. Still got to speak to the organisers of the event. But it's a private event, corporate industry.
Do you think you should do one at paintballing? We haven't really mentioned paintballing, so no one really knows, but...
Do it? No.
Yeah, no?
No, I'm not up for that. I just want to go paintballing. I don't want to be a performing monkey, yeah? I'm going to have bruises all over me. The last thing I want to do is perform...
Yeah, true.
There.
Did you watch the darts?
No.
No?
No, I just play darts.
Yeah.
I don't watch darts.
It's mad, though, how that Luke Littler has got everyone into darts.
Yeah.
Because I never used to watch it, play it. That guy's done wonders on social media.
You like watching kids, right?
What are you trying to paint me out to be?
It's worth. But to be fair, he doesn't look like a kid, does he? I think we look, because he looks
What do you
so
think
mature.
is attractive? Yeah.
It's like we can't get our heads around that he's only 16 years old. Do you know what I mean? It's like he's sort of
It's
like
mad though. Someone just because of
he's
his
the
age
Wayne Rooney of darts,
has
isn't he?
attracted people to darts.
Yeah, he's the
it's
Wayne
nuts.
Rooney of darts. That's what he is.
Who's Wayne Rooney? No, I'm joking. Now. I'm joking.
All footballers you could have compared him to.
Shall I read
He
out?
is though, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? Wayne Rooney looked older than his years, and he was a talented guy, wasn't he? You know what I mean?
Should I read out our comments from the week that we've had?
You may do.
So we've had. So this is from the Checker customer comments, like reviews for customers.
Oh right, yeah.
So this is on TikTok from Modern Practical Stonemason. It's why I work for a company now. So basically can't handle shitty customers. So he's...
Yeah, well,
I don't blame you.
I mean, if you work for a company, you're still going to have to deal with customers to an extent, aren't you? You're going to have direct contact with them, but you don't have to deal with the actual following up, chasing invoices, quoting and all that rubbish. Just go to work, do your work, go home. And that seems like a dream to me as well. Do you know what I mean? But it's what you want, innit? You know what I mean? I've just started advertising again. I've had to rebuild.
Oh, what, you work?
Yeah, I've had to rebuild.
I suppose you've been like... That's the thing. When you've got your eye on something else, it can sidetrack you.
It's not even that. It's I won't go into reasons of what happened.
Yeah,
But
yeah. So what are you going to advertise on?
I'm doing it on Facebook.
Yeah, you should do it on your Instagram as well. You've
Well,
never advertised like...
Funnily enough, I did it this morning. I put it
Did
on
ya?
my stories. I put a little post on my stories.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what it's there for, isn't
yeah,
it?
I know. Yeah, but I wanted to keep. Originally, I started my Instagram off as my business. But then I thought to myself, it isn't too good for business because of the actual content that I put out there. Do you know what I mean? But
It'd be interesting to see if you got...
I have got business off of Instagram.
Yeah.
I have got customers who have come to me and asked to. I did one the other week.
You don't
actually.
really push your work on
No,
that.
I don't push it. I'm more.
You
having
just
a
try
laugh
and be
that.
funny, yeah.
Well, try and be funny. Yeah, try and be funny, but just have a laugh and banter. Sometimes I might show the occasional trick.
Yeah.
Sometimes I might show some.
You used to show your work, didn't you?
Yeah, I might show some work
And you thought, like,
that
my
is
work ain't-
questionable. Questionable, but the reality of it is, we all do stuff that we have to do to get us out of trouble. It might not look pretty, do you know what I mean? And some people will say, that's rough, that's this, that's that. But, you know, you just got to do sometimes what you got to do. And that's the thing with Instagram. And I love social media platforms. But the thing about it is, on Instagram, you can make people feel... when you're promoting great work, like superb pipe work and all that, and you're promoting all fittings and that, you can make people who are not as good and as good as you and talented as you feel inferior and question themselves.
But I think it's good, like... Anyone can do a good job if they wanted. It just takes a bit longer.
Yeah.
And I think it's good because it pushes people to do a higher standard. But not everyone will do it.
There's nothing wrong with higher standards, but there's reality as well. Because if you're trying to make a job look pretty for Instagram, and because you're following such and such and you're trying to emulate work, instead of that job taking 2 days, it might take 3 or 4 days. And then you've lost money.
Depends if it's worth it for you, what your
and
goal
not only
is.
that is like all these stuff that is promoted on Instagram, such as like, you know, fittings and tools, and everyone wants to have this tool, everyone wants to use this fitting. A lot of these tools are given to people for free, that are promoting them. They don't pay for them, They get given it that, and they get all these fittings. So if you've got like these special fittings, like press fittings and all that, and you're telling people to use this, use that, and the young kids come in and they're going to lose jobs because they're going to price a job up using press, Yeah, when they don't need to do everything. I've got
It all
nothing.
depends what work you're doing.
Yeah.
If you're doing low standard clients, then you can't charge the right money and spend
No,
time
that's
on
it.
it.
And yeah, that's the thing.
I think everyone understands that though.
Yeah,
Everyone
but
knows.
no, they don't. They don't, because some people just have high end clients, and then they'll turn around and say, "I wouldn't work for them people." But it depends on your geographical, where you are, what your client base is, and how long in the game you are as well, and what type of like people you're moving with.
Yeah.
It depends what social movement you're in, because some of us off a council estate will only have council estate jobs to do. And you do build yourself up and like promote yourself, but people starting out, they're not going to go straight to a high-end client, are they? So you've got to start at the lower end of the spectrum. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Got a bit serious here,
Tricky one, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think if you do a good job, you get decent money, and you're building yourself a business, then that's all you got to do.
How you market yourself.
Yeah.
It's how you want to be perceived by your
Yeah, I mean,
customer.
everyone will always ask. I'll get so many DMs of people saying like, "How I want to start on my own. I want to do this. I want to do that. How should I go about it?" And the first thing I always say to people is, get yourself. And a lot of people might not agree with this, but it worked for me. Is get yourself on a Facebook business group, because we all know Facebook can be like a place of like negativity, but if you get yourself on a Facebook business group and your name gets bandied about and you go and do them good jobs,
the community pages, like you get the local
they are the
community
things.
pages.
They are the things that build you up in
They
an
will
area.
build you up. Yeah.
That is what
I think with social media, it all depends. You got to know what you want from that page, whatever you're doing.
The thing is, like, we can all say word of mouth, but you have to have that client base already for word of mouth. I always worked on word of mouth.
I don't know. No, I don't.
No, before.
Depends how big you want to grow. I've done everything word of mouth.
No, but you didn't in the beginning, surely.
I knocked on estate agent doors.
Yeah,
So I went to every estate agent in Dartford and said, like, do plumbing, gas, stuff like that. I think only one estate agent used me, but other than that, it's everyone I knew, and then the word gets around. So you obviously, it's easier if you know people to start off
if you want
with.
to, if you want to boost yourself, you got to advertise at first, and then it all works on word of mouth.
Yeah, it depends if you've got the people there already.
Yeah.
I just knew a few people. Well, I got into new builds, so it took up all my time through someone I knew, and then I built up smaller jobs around that.
Yeah,
But
that's the other thing. If if you're working for a company, you've got to do the out of hours jobs, ain't you? You know what I mean? If you're trying to build a business, I used to work at the weekends. I used to do
But the thing is,
jobs after work.
If you say no, you feel like they're going to give it to someone else, then they're going to take the future work. So it's hard to say no when, especially doing estate agent stuff, because they can call you anytime.
But it's hard to make that transition, and a lot of people are scared to make the transition from working for a company to working for themselves because it's the unknown, isn't it? Hello, you wonderful listeners and watchers. Just pumping the brakes on this exciting episode to let you know about Kieran's app that's changing the game in the gas certificate world.
If you're sick and tired of doing gas certificates on paper, then Gas Certificate app is your way forward. But it wouldn't be an app worth talking about if that's it. With no hassle, you can manage your diaries, invoices and quotes for all your jobs, so you'll never be chasing paperwork again.
Don't forget those boiler manuals. I can tell you how many times I've been looking at a boiler and thinking, what the? Thankfully, the in-app boiler manuals have saved me and got me out of quite the pinch.
If it's helped Pete here, then Gas Certificate app will definitely help you, especially with its easy-to-use gas reg calculator and the extremely handy ability to duplicate certs. Brilliant for when you're doing your annual services on previous jobs. So click the link down below or in the description. Use the code POD30 to get 30% off yearly subscriptions. That's for all new users. That's POD30 for 30% off our yearly subscriptions for new users. There's another guy on TikTok, Gary MCR, always said this: they can give us reviews, but we should be able to warn other trades if they are. See you next Tuesdays. Is That's just on another review comment.
So who said it? Somebody commented to me actually. They said what they should do is all the tradesmen in the area should set up a WhatsApp group, and then between themselves, like if they get a dodgy customer, put it in the group, and then people could know via that group that if that customer phones them from such and such.
I was thinking about if a platform put customer reviews. I was thinking it might put customers off, but it's a good thing because it will put off the bad customers by using that platform. Because they'll think, I don't want a bad review, no one will come and do work for me, but it will filter out them.
But we had that
shit
conversation last week, didn't we? But you probably was too drunk to remember.
It seems like you're drunk today.
But it was data protection, innit? You can't put down people's names and addresses on a database for people to see. Yeah.
You can give them a review.
Yeah, but you can't provide the details.
If they're on that platform, yeah, you can't like dish them out. But if someone goes through that platform, then they can see it on that customer. If a customer reach out, so it's like they have their own profile.
So it's a little bit like, on Trade, someone can book a job through Trade,
Mm.
and the Trade will reach out to that customer and say, how did you find the work? Equally, they could do the same for the tradesman and be like, how was working for this customer?
Right.
The customer have their own profile.
Yeah.
So if a customer reach out to another engineer, they'll look at the customer's profile and they'll have reviews on there.
It's like how Uber works. Like, it's not just the drivers that have their own rating. Customers equally have their
Oh,
own
right.
ratings.
Yeah.
So
Got ya.
drivers
Yeah. Got ya.
And basically, these Uber drivers can see a job pickup, look at the customer rating, and decide whether they want to pick up that person or not based on their rating.
No wonder Uber drivers don't pick me up. No.
So we've got another. This is a comment on Instagram from James_Rainer1. I'm all for it, boys. Not getting paid when they got 2 Audis on the drive is infuriating. Also, the ones who try on the obvious, like, oh, I didn't realise there would be a hole left in the wall when you removed the big rad and replaced it with a little one. I asked for against your best advice. You're going to pay for a decorator and plasterer to make good. Fuck off. Shouldn't have to write all that shit out in a quote because it's bloody obvious. So he's saying that, yeah, I see someone else say about it the other day, when you leave damage and they expect you to repair it. But not all customers are going to understand.
No, not all customers are going to realise.
Because they're not in
that,
the trades. They don't know what's they just expect a finished job.
They don't know what they... Yeah, so you sort of
So you sort of need to tell them.
You need to cover your arse there. It's like, if you're taking a boiler out of one position, you're going to brick it up, aren't you? But you're not going to plaster finish it necessarily, are you? You can say, look, I'll brick it up, but I'm not plaster finishing it. And if I take that radiator off, the wallpaper's going to be showing. Like, I'm not a decorator.
Just tell them,
you just tell them. Yeah. I mean, you could write it in writing, or you just say radiator change only.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I like this comment. This is from Dr. Pipe London. I wrote in my ex-wife's gas meter box, #bitch never pays. Any sensible gas engineer will bust a cap on that supplier. That's a good one.
I like that.
Pete, you were tired today. It's you this week.
I was round my mates last night and I fell asleep on his lazy boy. 3:10 in the morning, wakes up, I'm cold, TV still on, lights on, and you ever feel when you, it's like, I thought I got up and I just went.
Was you not meant to stay around there?
No, he just left me, went upstairs and just left me on the fucking lazy boy asleep.
Naked?
No, I wasn't naked, Kieran. He's got an obsession about it. Nah.
He didn't give you a blanket?
I think I had my coat on, to be honest with you. And I got in my van, but it
so like 3 a.m. you drive home.
It frosted over, right? I ain't got nothing. I ain't got no kettle of water. I ain't got nothing. So I turned the engine on, and at 3 o'clock in the morning, I was driving like Jim Carrey from Ace Ventura with my head out the fucking window while it was warming up. And then I got to the bottom road because what I didn't want to do was start the van up at 3 o'clock in the morning and outside somebody's house, just fucking like, ticking over. So I drove to the bottom of the road like Jim Carrey and then just stopped there and then it thawed out a bit and then I drove on my merry way home.
Did you go back to sleep?
No, I didn't. I ended up watching some podcasts at like 4 o'clock.
So you've been up since 3 a.m.
Yeah.
So that's why you're a shit show today.
It's not that. I'm not that bad. I'm not as bad as what you was last week. Not that bad.
I don't know.
Robbie's got some editing to do. Can you make me look a bit livelier? Yeah?
Let's try and get these stories lively. So this is a story from JRD_heating. On a cancelled contract, went into a job, no heating or hot water. Their naked 7-year-old followed me around, hitting me with a plastic sword. I asked several times for the parent to tell him stop, and she repeatedly told me he's all right. So when I went upstairs to investigate the wiring centre and do a bit of further investigation, he whacked me up the head with a sword, so I threw it out the window and walked out and went home.
That reminds me, my mate's a plasterer, right? And he was plastering around this house, and the kid in there was a little shit, right?
Yeah.
He just skimmed the wall over, right? He's gone out to his fans, come back in. It's all Monster Munch just planted, just stuck in the fucking wall. He was like, fuck's sake. Kept going for his tool back. Nightmare, innit?
Kids. We had our mates come round with their kids yesterday. Jamie invited himself round. And they're just knocking everything. We've got ash on the floor. We made him a sandwich, getting crisps everywhere all over the floor, like just stamping on the plate. Don't even look, do they? Just knocking everything.
Yeah. I had one kid right once, and I was working. I was changing this radiator, and this kid, his name was Rafferty, right? And he's got one of them parents where they don't tell him off; they just ask them nicely, right? He's climbing all over me tools. He's sitting on the radiator that I've got to take off and that, and his dad's going, Rafferty, darling, come away, come away. I went, Raff, move. I said, move out the way, mate.
Yeah.
But he just kept following me everywhere. And all it was like, leave the tools alone. No, don't. You're going to hurt yourself on those tools. Just tell him, I was thinking, just tell him, stop with the fucking tools. And as I'm going out to the van, right, I'm saying to myself, Raffy, little prick, fucking little twat, little prick, Rafferty. I open the door, look behind me, and there he is! He's in his mum's fucking sliders! And I'm like, oh, fuck's sake. Do you know what I mean? It's a nightmare.
Kids are funny, though.
They are funny,
They are so
yeah.
funny.
They are funny.
So we've got one more story from Pentagon Carpentry and Joinery. The worst addition to the no tea is the no tea, but has their own biscuits dunker right in front of you. If it's a rich tea they're dunking, they can keep it. But if it's a jammy dodge or a chocolate hobnob, the tools are in the van and I'm out of there.
What if it's a rich tea? What if it's a...
This guy said rich tea, don't like rich teas, basically.
Oh, right, okay.
If it's a jammy dodger, they're so underrated, aren't they?
Yeah.
Who has a jammy dodger nowadays?
I do.
Do you?
Yeah, I like jammy dodgers. And hobnobs. Hobnobs, I eat like Pringles. Do you know what I mean? I got a cup of tea with a Pringle. I mean, they're like...
What, you eat them with a Pringle?
They're like a tablet. Oh, done.
No, but do you know what underrated?
With Pringles, prawn cocktail. That's what I recommend. Anything chocolate with prawn cocktail, wallop in at the same time. Oh, fucking hell, yeah.
No, but chocolate digestives are underrated as well. Don't you think? When's the last time you had a chocolate digestive?
You exciting fuck. The other day.
Did you?
Yeah.
No,
Galaxy
it's
ones.
got to be McVitie's.
I had McVitie's the other day.
Did you?
Yeah.
Nah.
It's just... I know
Yeah,
it's
Galaxy, not McVitie's.
McVitie's.
Normal, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry. We're sorry that they're not McVitie's and they're Galaxy. I mean, there's not a lot of difference in them, Kieran.
Well, yeah, there's a big difference. It's different chocolate, Derek.
Don't really taste that much different, though, does it?
Of course it does. Galaxy and McVitie's different. Nah, dairy milk. You can't beat dairy milk.
Well, they don't put that on
I
McVitie's,
can't wait
do
for
they?
Easter.
They don't put that on McVitie's, do they?
All right, shall we wrap it up there?
Wrap it up.
Well,
Go, you wrap it up this week. Come on.
thank you for listening. I'm sorry that I've had to carry Pete this week.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
Right. I had to carry you last week. No, you carried me
Really?
last week. Sorry. No, you probably still done more talking than me today, to be honest. But
Listen, I've had an off day. You had an off day last week. I had an off day
next
this
week we've got to step it up.
We'll count on Robbie to sort
Yeah.
it all out for us. All right? Cheers, Rob.
But yeah, thank you for listening. And we just had a thought, didn't we, Pete? This is our last guest this Thursday for this season.
Yeah, and we have 2 guests on this Thursday. We have none other than Andy Cam, I Love Plumbing, and Todd Glister from Glister Services. If you follow them on Instagram, they are plumbers, well-known plumbers, and they also present the Plumbing and Heating Show on Fix Radio. So that is actually our last, like you said, our last guest show of this season. But we will still be doing the overtime show in between, so you can still catch us on a Monday.
Yeah.
For the next few weeks.
So we're just going to have 4 weeks off guests, and then we're going to get the guests rolling again.
Yes, and we've got some really good guests for next season, let me tell you.
Stick around. Is there anything else we need?
What's that, an Arnold Schwarzenegger impression or something? Stick around. Could you sound more robotic? Stick around.
Okay, so our first guest on the second season is going to be coming out on the 18th of April. But before then, we've got Ollie from Heating Geeks. He's coming. We're going to do a Q&A live with him on the 26th of March.
Special show with Ollie because he was obviously our first guest, and we got a hell of
knowledgeable
a lot,
guy. Yeah.
a hell of a lot of responses to Ollie. And some good feedback from the show. So, and Ollie's wants to come back and do some bits. So
8 p.m. on the 26th of March, going live with him. So, yeah, we'll put out more of that for your questions. But see you Thursday.
Bye. I'm dead.
All right, this has been another episode of Off the Job Podcast.
Thanks for watching the show on YouTube or listening on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts and all other streaming platforms.
If it's your first time watching or not, make sure to subscribe below and follow us on all the big social media stuff like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
For our overtime show on Monday, send us in your stories and comments for it to be read out on the show. Send it in via email, direct message through our social media accounts, or WhatsApp us on 07457 406 259.
And we'll see you on the next episode.